Dig deeper and bring in Illinois Republican Congressman Adam Kinzinger. He's a member of the January 6th committee. He joins us now. Congressman, this has been such an ordeal. The whole point of your inquiry is to gather information. How confident are you that what you're doing right now gets you any closer to getting the information you want and this country needs?
Well, I'm about as confident as I can be. I mean, we don't know what the future holds on this. But let me say on the Bannon side of the House, I think it's important that anybody that refuses to come before Congress face consequences and that we can compel them. That may take some time. I recognize that. But there are many, many people out there that are not going to be able to resist subpoenas from Congress, that actually some of them have no interest in resisting subpoenas, that can give us information that can build up to Steve Bannon, maybe equivalent to what he knows. He is not like basically the limiting factor that short of us getting him before the committee, we're not going to know anything. We are pursuing lots of fronts.
I want to play part of what your Republican colleague, also on this committee, Liz Cheney, said yesterday about Bannon's refusal to cooperate. Watch this.
Mr. Bannon's and Mr. Trump's privilege arguments do, however, appear to reveal one thing. They suggest that President Trump was personally involved in the planning and execution of January 6th, and this committee will get to the bottom of that.
Okay, at the very same time, there's a new poll out that shows more than half of Republicans believe Trump bears no responsibility for January 6th whatsoever. How does that set the stage for the next part of your investigation?
I mean, look, that's a difficult number to look at. I mean, quite honestly, you know, I attribute that to a couple things. Number one, we are so tribalistic in this country that I think people don't want to know facts because, you know, it's whatever narrative puts them in the tribe. Secondarily, it shows a lack of leadership in my party to stand in front of people and tell them the truth. If you have a base, you know, voter that hasn't heard anybody but me and Liz say something, we can't really blame them for not believing. I mean, I guess everybody's responsible for their own belief, but, you know, more people need to stand up. And I think what this shows and what this should show my friends on the other side of the aisle, we may not agree on issues. There's going to be a lot of issues we disagree on, right? That's fine. That's why this place behind me, the Capitol, was built. But we have to have unity when it comes to defending democracy, or we will find ourselves in a bad place. Okay, and so that number to me is very concerning. Go ahead.
But then stay with me here, because as we're waiting for the House and the Justice Department, I want you to help our audience understand the stakes, because there have to be consequences for ignoring congressional subpoenas. I mean, Congress is going to voluntarily lose its power if you basically hook up a guy because he's boys with Trump.
Right. Yeah. Look, I think you're 100% right. This is accurate. This is why it is important for us to make sure it is in the Justice Department's purview now. And I have every expectation that on Bannon, you know, once we pass the referral out of the House on Thursday, which I think we will, I have every expectation that the Justice Department will pursue that. We have other, you know, methods. There's civil contempt. There's what's called inherent contempt, but that takes a rules change in the House current. But the stakes are huge, not just for the power of Congress, but because in 10 years, we want our kids, I'll have a son who's 10 by then, we want our kids to be able to read the historical narrative of January 6th with accuracy, not something tainted by people that say it's Antifa and the FBI. That's why this is so important.
Do you ultimately think you'll be subpoenaing Donald Trump?
I don't know. You know, I think we can get to all the information we need without him. But I think we're certainly willing to do it. That's something I want to make clear is he's not off limits. But I also think, you know, if we can get that information prior to him, and obviously you recognize the second he's subpoenaed, it creates a whole circus. But we'll do what we need to do, period. But we're not going to just call him in front of us to feel good. We're going to get the information we need from many other people, some of which have already voluntarily come in and talked to the committee.
Can I ask you, what has all of this been like for you personally? Right now, you have got Democrats trying to redraw your district, and Republicans, not across the board, but a lot of them, are taking every opportunity to attack you.
I think there was a saying attributed to Churchill. It was like, so you have enemies, good. It means you actually stand for something. I'm at peace. It's not fun. but I'm at peace. And I know that, whether if I end up with no place to run in Illinois, that'll be fine, right? It'll be okay. I'm going to just stand in front of the American people and do the right thing. And the tough thing is I understand it, because getting kicked out of a tribe or feeling like you're out of a tribe, it hurts. But what we need is more people that are willing to stand up to defend democracy. So I'm not going to sit here and tell you it's no problem. It's fun. I enjoy it. I don't. But I also know that in, 20, 30 years, when I look in the mirror, I'm going to be able to look at myself, I think, longer than some other people would be able to.
And you might say, I don't want to be in that tribe anymore. Congressman Kinzinger, thank you for joining me this morning. I appreciate it.
You bet. Thank you.
We're going to stay on Capitol Hill. So much happening there today. Big changes to tell you about.